There's actually a note in my diary where I wrote, people who focus on what they want don't typically get what they want. People who focus on what they have to offer typically get what they want. We see this in business when you hire people, the people that are focused on can I get a pay raise, don't typically get the pay raise. But the people that focus on what they have to offer, they're the ones that you give all, you promote, because they have something to offer. Intrigued? Watch the full video to learn more interesting facts on stress and the power of our thoughts. And please don't forget to hit subscribe. Welcome back to the Pod Digest. In this video, we summarize the podcast episode from The Diary of a CEO podcast titled Stress Leaks Through Skin, is Contagious and Gives You Belly Fat from Dr. Tara Swart. In this episode, Dr. Tara Swart's insights provide a holistic understanding of stress, its physiological and psychological implications, and the interconnectedness of various factors in shaping our mental and physical well-being. Our skin reflects our stress levels. It provides an environmental barrier and communicates information about our internal state to others through sweat and pheromones released in sweat. When the stress response is triggered over the long term, it can lead to breakdown of this barrier and manifestation of stress on our skin in the form of acne, rashes, or other dermatological issues. Our skin essentially leaks information about our stress levels to the outside world. Researchers have discovered that others can actually perceive subtle cues about our stress through smelling our sweat. Our brains contain mirror neurons that fire both when we perform an action ourselves and when we observe others performing the same action. This allows for rapid social learning through imitation, but also makes us susceptible to contagion of emotions and physiological states. For instance, if you put a particularly stressed cortisol-leaking individual high in the organization, there's going to be a significant impact for everyone below them. That's why this is so crucial to leadership and promoting the right person to higher positions, because your stress levels as a leader or a CEO are going to have more impact on everybody else. So often stress shows up in the skin. Then there are two main things that you can do. One is physical exercise, because you can literally sweat cortisol out of your body by doing aerobic exercise. The other one is journaling. So write what's on your mind rather than just let it be in there and keep going round and round. Or if you've got a therapist or a trusted friend, speak it out loud. Stress also causes belly fat that's hard to shift. When we feel constantly under threat, our bodies evolve to think we are in a situation of scarcity and need to store more energy reserves for survival. Cortisol specifically has been shown to redistribute fat to the abdominal region over the long term when stress levels remain elevated. This belly fat poses more health risks than fat stored elsewhere. It is thought that abdominal fat responds more readily to hormonal changes driven by stress. Dr. Swart briefly touches on the role of oxytocin, the bonding hormone. She notes that positive interactions such as eye contact, light physical contact, and shared laughter can elevate oxytocin levels, creating healthier social dynamics. There's an association in our brain that if someone is looking into your left eye, the conversation also touches on neuroplasticity. The brain is a very energy-hungry organ, so it's always trying to use the path of least resistance. If you don't do anything to change your brain, it will. The 3 steps to expand neural pathways are becoming aware of the pattern in our lives, understanding consequences of that pattern, and setting an intention for who we want to become and the goals we have, and then practicing it as much as possible. The 4th step, they then shift to talk about neurogenesis, which is the formation of nerve cell neurons. There's a growth factor that's involved in the embryonic nerve cell becoming an adult cell, which is called BDNF, or brain-derived neurotrophic factor. The things that contribute mostly to that are aerobic exercise and eating dark-skinned foods. Dark-skinned foods are mostly plant-based, but you can also choose a darker version of a food. The pigment in the skin of that food has higher levels of antioxidants called anthocyanins, and they also contribute to neurogenesis. So it's basically like eating black beans instead of white beans, or eating blueberries instead of strawberries, dark chocolate instead of milk chocolate, purple sprouting broccoli instead of green broccoli, and good quality coffee counts as well. Finally, they move to talk about the power of our thoughts. There was a 2-week study done on 2 groups of weightlifters. One group lifted finger or elbow weights, and they showed about a 40% increase in muscle mass of the targeted muscle group for those weights. Their counterparts only imagined lifting weights for 2 weeks. They just sat there, and they visualized themselves lifting weights, and they had a 13% increase in muscle mass. Think about the number of athletes that use visualization as part of their training. Of course, they do the exercise and the practice, but what is the harm in imagining yourself more muscular or more youthful alongside eating the dark foods? It really matters how we speak about ourselves. If you're repeating something in your mind or out loud, then if that's being repeated more than another statement, it's the one that your brain's going to believe. So we can trick our brains effectively by saying something else to ourselves repeatedly. The brain has something called a glymphatic system that actively cleanses toxins during sleep, taking 7 to 8 hours. Sleeping on your side is the best position for this cleansing process. Dr. Tara believes in manifestation based on your brain, your thoughts, your beliefs, your action. She shares a great example to manifest something into our life. Say you want to manifest a great relationship. Dr. Tara then talks about the concept of psychological priming. It is the effect that the mindset of aging has on our physical body, how our thoughts about aging affect our physical abilities. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.